ኦኬ ወደ ተማሪዎች እንኳን ወደ አሊ ሳይንስ ዩቲዩብ ቻናል በሰላም መጣችሁ። ዛሬም ጀነራል ባዮሎጂ ለፍሬሽማን የምሰጠው ኮርስ ላይ ከምዕራፍ 1 50 የፈተና ጥያቄዎች ከነመልሳቸው እንደዛውም ከነመግለጫቸው ይዤ በአማሪክ ቱቶሪያል ይዤ ቀርባለሁ። ሶ our tutorial is on general biology freshman course 50 exam question with answer and also with explanation that is prepared from unit 1 or chapter 1. Freshman course that is given to for all Ethiopian university students, tutorial in Amharic. So don't forget ይህንን ቪዲዮ የምታዩበት ጊዜ መረሳት የሌለባችሁ ነገር VPN ወይ ደግሞ CFN ከፍታችሁ ማለት እንዳትረሱ። ምክንያቱም VPN ወይ CFN ከፍታችሁ ካያችሁ ጥሩ ኳሊቲ ያለው ቪዲዮ ስለምታገኙ VPN ወይ CFN ከፍታችሁ እንድታዩ በአክብሮት ጠይቃችኋለሁ። እንደዛውም አሊ ሳይንስ ዩቲዩብ ቻናል ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ አሊ ሳይንስ ዩቲዩብ ቤተሰብ ሁኑ። ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ ካደረጋችሁ እኔ የሚለቁትን ነገር ቶሎ እናንተ ጋር ስለሚደርስ ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ አሊ ሳይንስ ቻናል ቤተሰብ ሆኑ። እንደዛውም ቴሌግራም ግሩፕ ካላችሁ እዛ ላይ ሼር ማደራረጉን እንዳትረሱ። እንደዛውም የምትፈልጉትን ነገርም ካለ ኮሜንት ስር ጻፉልኝ። So let us start our tutorial on general biology 50 exam question with answer and also with explanation tutorial in Amharic. So let us start. Instruction: choose the best answer for question from the given alternative. ከተሰጣችሁ ምርጫ ውስጥ ትክክለኛ የሆነን መልስ በመምረጥ መልሱ ይላል። question number 1 what does the term biology mean? biology የሚል ቃል ምን ማለት ነው ይላል። so that should be the study of life and the living organisms. Because means that biology is derived from Greek words which are bio means life and logos means study, meaning that it focuses on understanding life forms and either interactions. question number 2 which of the following scientists coined the term biology? ከሚከተሉት ምሁራኖች ውስጥ የባዮሎጂን ቃል መጀመሪያ ጊዜ ኮይንድ ያደረጉ ወይ ደግሞ የተጠቀሙ እነማን ናቸው ይላል። so that should be C. Monet and Lamarck. means that Antoine Monet and Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck are scientists introduced the first term biology in late 1700s to refer the study of living organisms. question number 3 which branch of biology involves applying technology to biological system for various purpose? ለተለያዩ ጥቅም የባዮሎጂ ብራንች ሆኖ ለተለያዩ ጥቅም ቴክኖሎጂን ባዮሎጂ ላይ በመጨመር የሚጠቀመው የትኛው ባዮሎጂ ብራንች ነው ይላል። so that should be A. biotechnology. means that biotechnology involves applying technology to biological system for various purpose, while biochemistry study chemical process within the living organisms. Bacteriology study about bacteria, and ecology study how organisms interact with the environment. question number 4 which branch of biology focus on preserving biodiversity and protecting the environment? ከባዮሎጂ ብራንቾች ውስጥ ስለ ባዮዲቨርሲቲ ስለ አካባቢ እንክብካቤና ስለ የተለያዩ ባዮዳይቨርሲቲ ለማንከባከብ የሚሰራው የባዮሎጂ ብራንች ይሆናል። so that should be D. conservation biology. means that conservation biology focus on the preserving biodiversity and protecting the environment, while developmental biology studies the growth, development process of living organisms, and evolution study about explore how life changes and diversifies over time, and ethology study animal behavior and their conditions. question number 5 which of the following is not branch of biology? ምሳሌ ጥያቄ ከመከተሉት ውስጥ የባዮሎጂ ብራንች ያልሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል። so that should be C. astronomy. means that astronomy is the study of celestial objects, while botany study of the plants, and zoology study of animals, and genetics study of heredity. All are the branches of biology, but except that astronomy is not a branch of biology. question number 6 why is biology sometimes referred as life science or because it is because of what? የባዮሎጂ ትምህርት የህይወት ሳይንስ ለምን ይባላል ለምን ተብሎ ይጠራል ይላል። so ምክንያቱም ይላል so that should be B. it concerned with living organisms ስለ ህይወት ያላቸው ነገሮች ስለሚያጠና ህይወት ሳይንስ ተብሎ ይታወቃል ማለት ነው። means that biology encompasses the study of all forms of life including their structure, function, behavior, and interaction in the environment. so due to that with the environment, so due to that biology is known as life science. Question number 7. What is the scope of biological science? Biological science scope የሚያጠናው ምን ያቃጥላል ምን ያካትታል ይላል so that should be D. It encompasses or it includes the study of ecosystem, global environment changes, and the function of living organisms. Means that biological science cover wide range of topics. ስለዚህ biological science በጣም ሰፊ የሆኑትን ቶፒኮችን የሚያጠቃልል ሲሆን it is also from chemical process within the cell ውስጥ ከሚከናወኑ chemical process ጀምሮ እስከ large scale of environmental change እና interaction የሚያጠና ሳይንስ ነው ማለት ነው። Question number 8. What is the primary goal of teaching life science? የመጀመሪያ life science ማስተማር የመጀመሪያ ጎሉ ወይ ዓላማው ምንድነው ይላል so that should be to provide information about the latest development in biological science worldwide. Means that life science aims to educate learners about advancement in biology and its application globally. Question number 9. Which of the following best describe origin of the term biology? ከሚከተሉት ውስጥ የባዮሎጂን ቃል አፈጣጠር በትክክል የገለጸው የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be it originated from Greek words meaning life and study. Means that the term biology come from two Greek words. Bio means life and logos means study, emphasizing the study of living organisms. Question number 10. What is the significance of studying biological science? Biological science ማጥናት ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ይላል so that should be D. To explore the interaction between living organisms and the environment. Means that biological science helps us to understand how living organisms interact with each other and with their surrounding and contributing to knowledge about ecosystem and environmental changes. Question number 11. Which branch of biology study about cells, their structure and their function? ከባዮሎጂ ብራንች ውስጥ ስለ ሴል የሚያጠና ስለ ሴሎች ስትራክቸር እና ስለ ሴሎች ጥቅም ስራዎች የሚያጠና ባዮሎጂ ብራንች የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be A. Cytology. Means that cytology is the study of cell, their structure and their function, while mycology is study about fungus. Embryology examines the development of embryo, and anatomy the study of structure of living things and their parts. ስለዚህ ሳይቶሎጂ ስለ ሴሎች ስትራክቸር እና ስለ ሴሎች ስራዎችን ያጠናል ማለት ነው። ማይኮሎጂ ስለ ፈንገሶች ነው። ኤምብሪዮሎጂ ስለ ኤምብሪዮ ዴቨሎፕመንት ነው። anatomy the structure of living things ነው የሚያጠናው ማለት ነው። Question number 12. Which branch of science study the physical characteristics and behavior of organisms? ከሚከተሉት ከሳይንስ ብራንች ውስጥ ስለ physical characteristics እና ስለ organism behavior የሚያጠናው የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be C. Biology. Means that biology examines living organisms, their structure, behavior and interaction with their environment. Question number 30. What is the first form of life to appear on the earth? ለመጀመሪያ ጊዜ እቺ ምድር ላይ የተፈጠረው ህይወት ያለው ነገር የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be D. Single cell organism. ለመጀመሪያ ጊዜ እቺ ምድር ላይ የተፈጠረው living organism ህይወት ያላቸው ነገሮች single cell አንድ ሴል ያላቸው ኦርጋኒዝሞች ናቸው ማለት ነው። Means that the first living things were single celled organisms which later evolved into more complex life forms. Question number 40. Which theory explain gradual development of life on the earth? ከሚከተሉት ቲዮሪ ውስጥ ስለ ህይወት gradually develop ሆኗል ብሎ የገለጸው የትኛው ቲዮሪ ነው ይላል so that should be B. Evolution. Means that the theory of evolution describes how life gradually changed and adapted over billions of years. Question number 50. How old do scientists estimate the earth to be? ሳይንቲስቶች እንደሚያምኑበትና estimate እንዳደረጉበት እቺ ምድር አመቷ ስንት ነው ይላል so that should be C. 4.5 billion years old. Means that scientific research estimates Earth's age to be about 4.5 billion years based on geological and astronomical evidence. ስለዚህ scientific research እቺ ምድር እድሜዋ 4.5 ሚሊዮን years ago ብለው ገምተዋል። እሱም የገመቱት ጂኦሎጂካል እና አስትሮኖሚካል ኤቪደንስ ላይ ዲፔንድ በመሆን ነው ማለት ነው። Question number 60. Which of the following describe scientific method? ከሚከተሉት ውስጥ scientific method የሚገልጸው የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be D. Testing hypothesis through experimentation. Means that the scientific method is a systematic approach used to investigate phenomena, test theory or test hypothesis, and refine knowledge. Question number 70. What does cellular specialization allow in multicellular organisms? አንድ ኦርጋኒዝም ብዙ ሴሎች ማኖሩና ብዙ ሴሎች የተለያዩ ስራ ማኖራቸው ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ይላል ወይ ምን ማለት ነው ይላል? So that should be B. Cell perform specific tasks within the organism. እያንዳንዱ ሴል የራሱ ስራ ስለሚሰራ ስለዚህ cellular specialization አንድ ኦርጋኒዝም ብዙ ሴሎች እንደኖራቸውና እያንዳንዱ ሴሎች የራሳቸው ስራ እንዳላቸው ያደርጋል ማለት ነው። Means that cellular specialization allow different cells to perform specific function, making complex life possible. Question number 80. What is the main difference between creationism and scientific theory about the origin of life? ስለ origin of life ላይ አገላለጽ ላይ የሳይንቲፊክ ቲዮሪ እና ክሪኤሽኒዝም ቲዮሪ ልዩነት ዋናኛው ልዩነቱ የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be A. Creationism relies on religious belief while scientific use empirical evidence. Means that creationism is based on the faith or religious belief while science depends on observation, experimentation, and data analysis. Question number 90. Which of the following is not a step of scientific method? ከሚከተሉት ውስጥ scientific step ያልሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be C. Ignoring evidence. Means that scientific method requires analyzing and considering all evidence to form valid conclusions. Question number 20. Which theory suggests that life on the earth was created by God? ከሚከተሉት ስለ ህይወት ቲዮሪዎች ሳይንስ ካደረጉት እቺ ምድር ላይ ህይወት ያላቸው ነገሮች በፈጣሪ ብቻ ነው ተፈጠሩት ያለው የትኛው ቲዮሪ ነው ይላል? So that should be B. The theory of special creations. Means that the theory of special creation says that all forms of the life on the earth were created by God, the Almighty. Question number 21. What does the theory of spontaneous generation propose? Theory of spontaneous generation ስለ ህይወት አፈጣጠር ምን ይላል? So that should be C. Living organisms could arise suddenly from non-living matter. Means that Aristotle was a firm believer in theory of spontaneous generation that states living organisms could arise suddenly from non-living matter, which was later disproved by scientific experiment like Francisco Redi and Luis Pasteur. Question number 22. Which theory suggests that life reached the earth from other heavy bodies or meteorites? ከሚከተሉት ቲዎሪዎች ውስጥ ህይወት ወደ ምድር ከመጣችው ከሄቪ ቦዲዎች ወይ ደግሞ ከሜቴሪት ከሰማይ ነው ህይወት ወደ ምድር የመጣችው የሚለው ቲዎሪ የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be C. Cosmosian theory. Means that Cosmosian theory, also called the theory of panspermia, it proposed that life come to the earth from meteorites in the form of spore. Question number 23. Who independently proposed the theory of chemical evolution? ስለ theory of chemical evolution ራሳቸውን ችሎ ውጤት አንዱን ውጤት አንዱ ሳይ ኢንዲፔንደንትሊ ፕሮፖዝ ያደረጉት የትኞቹ ሳይንቲስቶች ይላል? So that should be A. Oparin and Haldane. Means that AI, Oparin and GBS Haldane independently proposed the theory of chemical evolution that suggests life originated through a slow and gradual chemical process about 3.8 billion years ago. Question number 24. What is the scientific methods primarily used for? Primarily scientific method ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ይላል? So that should be D. To test hypotheses and develop concepts and ideas. Means that the scientific method allows scientists to systematically investigate phenomena, create theory, and gain knowledge. Question number 25. What is considered one of the biggest and most important emergent phenomena in the science? Science በጣም ትልቅና በጣም አስፈላጊ የሆነው emergent phenomena የትኛው ነው ላል so that should be the origin or emergence of life ስለዚህ የህይወት አፈጣጠር ወይ ደግሞ emergence of life ሳይንስ በጣም ትልቅ ቦታ እና most important emergent የሆነ phenomena ነው ማለት ነው means that the origin or emergence of life in the is a significant phenomena in science as it is addressed fundamental question about existence. Question number 26. What is the belief of creationism regarding the origin of the world? እቺ ዓለም አፈጣጠር ላይ creationists ምን ብለው ያምናሉ ይላል so that should be A. The world was created in 6 days. እቺ ዓለም የተፈጠረችው 6 ቀን ውስጥ ነው በማለት ያምናሉ ማለት ነው means that creationists believe that the world was created in 6 days. Question number 27. What method do scientists use to test hypothesis and theory? Scientists የተለያዩ hypothesis እና theoryዎችን ቴስት ለማድረግ የሚጠቀሙ ሜተድ ምን ይባላል ይላል so that should be the scientific method. Means that scientists use the scientific method to test hypothesis and develop concepts through systematic inquiries. Question number 28. What are the 3 aspects of life demonstrated by man? ሰው ልጅ እቺን ህይወት አስፔክቱን እንዴት ዴሞንስትሬት ሶስቱ አስፔክቶቹ እንደማን ዴሞንስትሬት እንዳደረገው የትኞቹ ናቸው ይላል so that should be physical, mental and spiritual. Means that man demonstrate physical life means basic existence and mental life effectiveness and scope and spiritual life maximum living. Question number 29. Which property of living organisms involved the transformation of energy and the most use of materials which is defining the feature of life? ከመከተሉት ህይወት አላቸው property of living thing ነው ወይ ደግሞ ህይወት ካሉት ባህሪያት አንዱ ሆኖ ኢነርጂ የሚያመርትና የተለያዩ ማቴሪያሎችን ተጠቅመው ህይወት ከሚፈልጉ ሴሎች ወደ የሚፈልጉ የሚቀይረው የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be C. Metabolism. Means that metabolism involves transformation of energy and the use of materials which is defining the feature of life and it is the most characteristics of property of living organisms. ስለዚህ most ባህሪ የምንላቸው የታላቸው ነገሮች ሜታቦሊዝም የሚያካሂዱ ከሆነ so that is the most characteristic. Question number 30. What does irritability in living organisms refers to? ህይወት ያላቸው ነገሮች ውስጥ irritability ማለት ምን ማለት ነው ይላል so that should be B. The ability to detect stimuli. Means that irritability is the capacity of living organisms to sense and react to the stimuli around them. Question number 31. What does growth and reproduction in living organisms involve? ህይወት ያላቸው ነገሮች ውስጥ ግሮዝ እና እድገትና ማራባትን ኢንቮልቭ የሚያደርጉ ከመከታተሎች የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be A. Multiplication and duplication. Means that growth and reproduction include the process like multiplication, duplication, regeneration and differentiation. Question number 32. What is the purpose of controlled experiment? Controlled experiment ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ይላል so that should be C. To roll out the hypothesis or validate known facts. Means that controlled experiment help scientists to isolate variables and test hypotheses effectively and then to roll out hypotheses or validate known facts. Question number 33. Which property of living organisms involve eliminating metabolic waste to maintain a steady internal environment? ህይወት ካላቸው ባህሪያት ውስጥ አላስፈላጊ ወስቶችን ወይ ጥቅም የሌሉ ነገሮችን ከሰውነት የሚያስወግድበት መንገድ ወይ ፕሮሰስ ምን ይባላል ይላል so that should be C. Excretion. Means that excretion involve eliminating metabolic waste to maintain a steady internal environment. ስለዚህ excretion ማለት አላስፈላጊ ወስት ማቴሪያሎችን ከሰውነታቸው የሚያስወግድበት ፕሮሰስ ነው እንደዛ ሆሞስታሲስ ማለት stability within the organism environmental change ሲቀየርም ውስጣው environment እንዳይቀየር የሚያደርግ ሲስተም ሆሞስታሲስ ይባላል ማለት ነው adaptability ስንል እሱም organism adjust ማድረግ ነው internal environment changing environment ሲቀየር internal environment እንዳይቀየር የሚያደርግበት system no way process no osmoregulation help to maintain constant internal environment by regulating water and solid እንደዛም osmoregulation የምንለው ፈሳሽ የሆኑ ሰውነት ውስጥ ያሉ ላይክ ውሃ ሊሆን ይችላል እንደዛም ሶሊድ ሊሆን ይችላል እነኚህን ኮንስታንት ወይ ባላንስድ ሆነው እንዲቀመጡ የሚያደርግ ሲስተም ነው ማለት ነው Question number 34 what is the purpose of testing hypothesis hypothesis test ማድረግ ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ይላል so that should be to falsify or validate it ስለዚህ አንድ hypothesis test የምናደርግበት ወይ እውነተኛ ከሆነ እውነት ለማውሰድ ነው ወይ validate ለማድረግ ነው ለማረጋገጥ ነው ወይ ደግሞ እውነተኛ ካልሆነ ደግሞ falsify ደግሞ ወይ ደግሞ ለማጣል ነው ማለት ነው means that testing hypothesis help to determine whether supported or refuted by evidences Question number 35 What is the final step of scientific method? የመጨረሻው scientific method step የትኛው ነው ላል so that should be draw conclusion means that draw conclusions are drawn based on the result of systematic observation and experiment and making recommendation based on the finding. Question number 36 What is the purpose of limiting variables in experiment? Experiment ስንሰራ variable ቁጥሮችን ሊሚት እናደርጋለን ወይ ተሰኑ እናደርጋለን ይሄ ደግሞ ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ይላል so that should be to ensure accurate and reliable results ስለዚህ accurate ወይ ትክክለኛ የሆነ ሪዛልት ለማግኘት variableዎችን ሊሚት እናደርጋለን ማለት ነው means that limiting variables help to isolate the effect of factor being tested ensuring the validity of the result Question number 37 Which of the following is the purpose of falsifying hypothesis and hypothesis falsify የምናደርግበት ጥቅሙ ለምን የምናደርግበት ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ይላል so that should be a to establish what is not true ስለዚህ አንድ ነገር እውነተኛ አለመሆኑን የምናረጋግጥበት መንገድ ነው ማለት ነው means that falsifying hypothesis helps to refine scientific understanding by identifying incorrect explanations Question number 38 What are the two types of observation in scientific method scientific method ውስጥ ሁለት observation አይነቶች አሉ እነሱ የትኞቹ ናቸው ይላል so that should be a quantitative and qualitative observation means that there are two types of observation in scientific method such as quantitative observation which involve numerical data and qualitative observation which involve descriptive data Question number 39 which contributes to maximum living in man as man demonstrated about life maximum living contribute የሚያደርገው ወይ አጽዋጽም የሚያደርገው የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be spiritual entity means that spiritual aspect of life contribute maximum living by providing deeper meaning and purpose Question number 40 Which branch of biology focus on the function and the mechanism that work with the living organism ከbranch of biology ውስጥ ስለ ህይወት አላዩ ነገሮች ውስጥ አሉ ስራቸውና መካኒዝም የሚያጠናው የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be physiology means that physiology focus on the function and mechanisms that work with the living organisms while virology study about virus phycology study about algae and taxonomy study about naming and classifying living organisms ስለዚህ ፊዚዮሎጂ ስንል ውህት ያላቸው ነገሮች ስትራክቸር ስራቸውን ያጠናል ማለት ነው ቫይሮሎጂ ስለ ቫይረሶችን ያጠናል ፋይኮሎጂ ስለ አልጌዎችን ያጠናል ታክሶኖሚ ስለ ህይወት አሰጣጥና ክላሲፊኬሽን ኦፍ ሊቪንግ ኦርጋኒዝምስ የማጠና ሳይንስ ነው ማለት ነው ወይ ብራንች ኦፍ ባዮሎጂ ነው ማለት ነው Question number 41 What does zoology study Zoology the branch of biology ሆኖ ስለምን ያጠናል ይላል so that should be a the categorization and the naming of animals ስለዚህ በአጠቃላይ zoology ስለ እንስሳቶችን ያጠናል ማለት ነው means that zoology is a branch of biology that deals with the study of animals their classification and behavior Question number 42 Which branch of biology involves categorizing and describing different living organisms systematically ከbranch of biology ውስጥ ስለ ሊቪንግ ኦርጋኒዝም ካቴጎራይዜሽን እና ዲስክራይቢንግ የሚያጠና የትኛ ነው ይላል so that should be the taxonomy means that taxonomy involves categorizing and describing different living organisms systematically Question number 43 Which one of the following is the first step in scientific method ከመከተሉት ውስጥ የመጀመሪያ scientific step ውስጥ የመጀመሪያ step የትኛ ነው ይላል so that should be C making an observation means that make observation phenomena is the first step in scientific method ስለዚህ scientific method የመጀመሪያው ስቴፑ make an observation ነው ሁለተኛው ask question ነው ጥያቄ ስለ የኑ ነገር ጥያቄ ማጠየቅ ነው ሁለተኛ form hypothesis ከዛ ለጥያቄው መልስ ማስቀመጥ hypothesis ከዛ ያስቀመጥ ነው do experiment በኤክስፔሪመንት ማረጋገጥ ነው ኤክስፔሪመንት ስንሰራ accept or reject hypothesis እናደርጋለን ማለት ነው hypothesis ትክክለኛ ከሆነ accept እናደርጋለን hypothesis ትክክለኛ ካልሆነ ደግሞ reject እናደርጋለን መጨረሻ ላይ draw conclusion እናደርጋለን conclusionን እንጽፋለን ማለት ነው question number 44 what is widely accepted hypothesis that is stand the test to the test of the time called አንድ ጊዜ አክሰፕት የሆነው ሳይንት ሃይፖቴሲስ ለማቼም ምን ጊዜም ተሰደረግ እውነተኛ የሚሆን የትኛው ምን ይባላል so that should be a theory means that a theory is a hypothesis that has been extensively tested and is widely accepted question number 45 what is the purpose of driving new knowledge based on old knowledge called አዲስ ዕውቀት ከበፊት ካለን ዕውቀት ዲፔንድ ሆነን የምናገኘው ፕሮሰስ or ሂደት ምን ይባላል so that should be a inference means that inference involve using test existing knowledge to draw conclusion and make prediction or get new knowledge question number 46 what is the purpose of making systematic observation in scientific method since the scientific method is systematic observation ማካሄድ ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ላል so that should be to collect data for evaluating hypothesis means that systematic observation provide data needed to support or disprove or improve hypothesis question number 47 what is homostasis ምንድነው ላል so that should be the ability to maintain a constant internal environment means that homeostasis ensures stability within living organisms despite external changes. Question number 48. What is the role of mind in life? የአእምሮ ህይወት ውስጥ ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ወይ ስራው ምንድነው ላል so that should be it contribute effectiveness and scope means that the mind enhances the effectiveness and the scope of the life. Question number 49 what is the purpose of iteration in scientific method scientific method is iteration ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ላል so that should be to use result to improve hypothesis or make new predictions means that iteration allows scientists to build on previous finding or result to improve hypothesis or make new predictions improving the accuracy and scope of their investigation. Question number 50 what are the major excretory product in plants say የእጽዋቶች ሴሎች ውስጥ major excretory products ወይ ደግሞ waste product ዋናኛዎቹ waste product የምንላቸው የትኞቹ ናቸው ላል so that should be a oxygen and the carbon dioxide means that major excretory product in plant cell are oxygen and the carbon dioxide means that plant excrete oxygen during photosynthesis and carbon dioxide during respiration ስለዚህ ኦክሲጅን በፎቶሲንተሲስ ጊዜ ኤክስትሬት ያደርጋሉ ማለት ነው ለኛ ጥቅም ይኑር እንጂ ለጽዋቶች ኦክሲጅን as waste product ነው ማለት ነው እንደዛም ካርቦን ዳይኦክሳይድ during respiration as waste product ይለቃሉ ማለት ነው Thank you for watching this video don't forget like subscribe share comment Aliyi YouTube channel ይሄንን ቪዲዮ ስለያዳመጣችሁ እጅግ አድርጌ ነው የማመሰግናችሁ ግን ማርሳት የሌለባችሁ ነገር ምንድነው ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ ሼር ኮሜንት ማድረጉ እንዳትረሱ ቴሌግራም ግሩፕ ካላችሁ እዛ ላይ ለጓደኛችሁ ላይ እናንተ ጓደኞች ሼር ማድረጉ እንዳትረሱ ቀጣይ ሌላ ቪዲዮ እስካሁን ድረስ መልካም ጊዜ ነውላችሁ if you have any question or suggestion please write under comment until I come back with other tutorial video good time for you ታርግጥማችሁ thank you welcome back again